I've been asking a lot of questions, but I think some of your fans want to ask some questions too.
Yeah.
We are at the Analog at the Hutton Hotel in Nashville, and so you guys came far and wide. And let's get started with Daniel. Daniel, where are you, buddy? Hey, Daniel, what would you like to ask TR?
So Bobby mentioned your father earlier, but as a beginning artist, who are some of your greatest mentors and inspirations?
Yeah, I mean, my dad for sure. But it was weird, man, because I grew up with a dad that sang, therefore I was around a lot of other singers, you know? I mean, I've told this story before, but it's a real story. Like, Blake Shelton helped me with my homework one time, and it was... I mean, it's true.
Best tutor ever.
You know what I mean? But, like, I think when I, got to be in, like, high school, like, my dad was writing a bunch of songs for Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan and Blake Shelton and, like, all these folks. And a lot of those guys ended up bringing me on the road with them, and they still to this day. I mean, there's not one time Luke Bryan has ever ended my phone call when I called him. One of the best advice givers I've ever had, and really kind of a lot of those folks took me under their wing, and they became influences and mentors. And so I feel like I've gotten a lot of really cool help.
That's awesome.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you, man.
All right, next up we have Taylor. Hi, Taylor. Come up to the microphone.
Taylor?
Hey, Thomas.
How are you?
What's your favorite song off this new album?
My favorite song off this new album, I'm about to play it, actually. This song is called Mama's Front Door. And it was kind of, I don't know, I'm just a sucker for a story and a sucker for a story that progresses from a young age to an older age. And do I tell this story or we wait?
No,
Yes,
go for it.
Oh,
tell
okay.
it.
So I was dropping off my 2-year-old at my wife's mom's house. My kids call her Bunny. That is her grandmother name. I don't know why, but it just stuck. And I dropped Lennon off, and she like darted through the front door, and I'm standing there on this porch, and it just kind of dawned on me like how many versions of myself have stood right here. You know what I mean? Like, because my wife grew up in that house, and so from the time I was 14, I'd go over there and try to date her or whatever. And so I've stood at that porch and at that door as a friend, a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, a fiance, a husband, and then now like watching like my kids go through that door. I freaking lost it. I was like, this is so crazy. And so I just wrote a song about a door, honestly, and it sounded weird, but until you hear the story, I don't know, it just became easily my favorite one on the record.
I'm excited to hear it.
Thank you.
Next up, let's do one more. Gia. Hi, Gia.
Hey.
How are you?
I know you, right?
Yes, you sang happy birthday
That's right.
to me at PNC Arts Center.
That's right. Good to see you.
Yes, good to see you
When's
too.
your birthday again?
September 18th,
Perfect.
and the
Say
concert was
today.
December.
No, you always say today.
Oh, it's today.
Oh, today. You could sing to me again. I know you had talked about this earlier, but I wanted to know what your girls' favorite songs were. Mine is Church Boots, so I was happy that was
yes.
your answer before.
Yeah, for sure. And my kids also, their favorite song is Vacation. Like to the point that like I dislike it now. So if you see that song nixed from our set list this summer, there's a reason for that. So
All right.
yeah.
Thank you,
For
Gia.
sure.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Gia.
much.
Appreciate you.
This is our iHeartCountry album release party with Thomas Rhett. We're talking about the new album, Where We Started. It's out right now on Bobby Bones. We've got another full song from the album coming up. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. Not only do you have Tyler Hubbard of FGL and Russell Dickerson on this song, Death Row is a true story. Is that right? Tell me about that.
How much time we got?
We got as long as you got.
Okay. I feel bad. This story could go on for an hour, but no. I will not bore you with the details. Bottom line of this song, I really did not want to put this song on the record because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to share the story because I didn't really know how to explain it, to be honest with you. But a friend of mine and Russell and Tyler's, his name is Al. He invited us to come do this prison ministry where we were going to bring our guitars in and play for some inmates on death row. And I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest with you. And so we walk in through a bunch of these different security doors. Police are behind you, police are in front of you, and it was just one of like kind of an eerie feeling, And we walked in and we played some songs, and they knew the songs. That was the weirdest part to me. Like I remember walking in and I said, "What would y'all like to hear?" And I just released a Christmas song called "Christmas in the Country," and literally this guy raised his hand and said, "I want to hear Christmas in the Country." And so I said, "How do you know that?" And he said, "Well, we get to watch CMT for an hour a day." And like, I'm getting chills thinking about it, but like, I think bottom line of this story was like I took this song to a couple writers of mine and kind of just described the events of that day because it's really hard to describe unless you've been there and done that. But it kind of taught me for sure that you cannot judge a book by its cover. Obviously there are laws and they're in there for a reason. But it doesn't mean that a heart can't change. It doesn't mean there's somebody can't have remorse. Because I've done bad things in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like not to that extent, but I think getting to hang with them and talk with them, it's just like we literally talked about hunting and fishing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't, and like they were coming up to us like reading scripture, and like there was a death row chaplain, and I don't know, just it was weirder than anything. It was cooler than anything I could have ever imagined, and I think what it took away from me was like, how am I living my life? You know what I'm saying? And so we wrote this song, and Tyler and Russell obviously were there with me that day, and decided that it was the right thing for all of us to sing on it together because we experienced it all together. So that's the shortened version of the story. We'll get a drink after. We'll talk about it. But yeah.